your weekly view of young leaders taking big steps. This is Next Gen. Sponsored by PFI Western Wear, home of Boot Daddy. We are at the College of the Ozarks Hog Farm to meet more of the students of Hard Work University. Are you ready, Harper?
Yeah.
So Luke, you are now the farm manager and handling the swine and the feed mill, but your career here at College of the Ozarks started many years ago, I understand.
Yeah, Jimmy, I started my undergraduate here in 2006 and worked at the Keeter Center washing dishes, and then moved over to the agriculture department, started at the feed mill and then worked out here at the hog farm the spring of 2008, I believe, and that's when the new facilities here were being built. Prior to that, we farrowed everything, all the sows, in an old dairy barn. Mm-hmm. And it had been the farm manager, Dan Swearingen's idea and dream to build a new facility, pretty state-of-the-art for the time.
Well, and what a cool facility that you have been a part of from the very beginning. So take me through the overall concept of the swine program and the kind of the hands-on application these students get to take in.
Okay, so we are a farrow to finish operation. We maintain 25 to 30 sows a year. Usually get 2 litters per sow per year with an average litter size of 10 pigs. And we do process probably 80% of all of our pork goes to the college's USDA inspected processing plant. And then from there it goes up the hill to the Keeter Center. And then the other few hogs, if supplies are available, we do sell some private treaty for butcher hogs and show pigs a few and some feeder pigs along the way.
But when it comes to the overall goals of the swine program, what are those?
Well, it really follows closely with the college's mission. We want to create and foster Christ-like character, students that are hardworking, have a great work ethic, and also patriotic. We do that through building relationships. Mm-hmm. So my main goal in my students is really to bring the best out of them. And the way that we do that is we work on teamwork skills and also management, mm-hmm. because my freshmen will someday be my upperclassmen, right. And they'll be passing it on down the line. So we start with the basics and then work all the way up through.
Just like you, the students that you are teaching here on the farm are starting out on entry-level positions throughout campus. So what's their first role here on the school farm?
Here on the school farm, we will start out feeding pigs and doing chores in the mornings, making sure getting all the sows out for exercise, feeding them, just kind of visually inspecting them, mm-hmm. and just kind of doing some general herd health things. And then as they develop and become upperclassmen, then they start taking on more responsibilities with the actual calling in the feed orders, mm-hmm. To the feed mill, farrowing duties, artificial insemination, record keeping. And by the time they graduate, if they've spent a year and a half, 2 years with me, they can run this operation on their own.
Well, without further ado, let's go meet some of those students.
Let's do it.
So Dana, as senior manager of the hog farm, I'm sure you've worked along every step of the way, but it all kind of begins here. Take me through what happens in the gestation pens.
Yes, so our sows here have a gestation length of 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days. So the sows can stay out here on the pastures, and in the summers they can wallow in the mud to stay cool. And here in the winter months, they have their strawed houses that they can stay warm in. And then they can kind of forage around and kind of roam as they please. And we also supplement their diets while they're out here on the pasture with grain. And we also, when it's about a week until their farrowing date, we bring them up to our farrowing barns so we can kind of keep a closer eye on them to see if they might farrow early or if they're having any issues.
So Michaela, once the sows and the piglets leave the gestation barn, they come up here to the weaning barn. What happens here?
So here they're with the moms for about 4 weeks. And so the piglets are just getting bigger. And then after that, we're gonna wean them. And then we'll move the sows back out to the pastures like we just saw. There we'll rebreed them. And then they'll get started in their gestation cycle again. The pigs will stay up here for about another week. Just depending on temperature, let them grow a little bit more before we take them out to the preschool pens.
Preschool pens,
yes.
I like the name.
So just when they're really little, it's a smaller pen so we can keep track of them. And they have a special diet, so they're growing really fast. Then we'll move them to a grow out pen, and that's where they will gain lots of weight. We change their diet so they have proper nutrition to gain that weight, get the protein, and build muscles. And then from there, once they reach market weight, which is usually around 260 to 280 pounds, we'll take them to the processing plant and then up to Keeter Center.
Take me through some of your responsibilities on a daily basis.
So in the mornings, we come out, we do chores. We're gonna check on all the pigs up here that are in the barn. Then we'll go around and do rounds up in the barns, making out in the pastures, making sure everyone has feed, water, or monitoring for health. We do a large variety of projects here on the farm.
So we've toured the entire swine operation, but maybe the most important thing takes place here in the office, all that record keeping and data entry. Take me through it.
Yeah, so we bring our sows up a week prior to farrowing, and then we get the pasture number, pen number in which they're staying in, and then we will, after they farrowed, we get the number of baby pigs live, and then we'll count teats, ear notch, run through that, and all of that, it has to be kept in the book, and it's under each sow, so we can go back through the years and see which sows has the highest production.
And beyond that, feeding, nutrition, you're ordering feed and you're scheduling workers?
Yeah, so we work really close with our feed mill campus people, and we call them when we have to order finisher 1, finisher 2. We have to tell them if we need a ton, 2 tons, and then they'll bring it out, and we have to make sure to direct them in the right pen in which we need the feed.
So Luke, at the end of the day, what is the thing that you want your seniors to walk away with, and kind of those aha moments that you want to instill in them throughout their career?
Well, Jamie, I think the biggest thing that I want my students to come away with is relationships, and not to focus solely on the one thing that they're doing at the time, but to keep a broad picture in life, and because they can take away little things from a small hog operation that could go to help them in any kind of industry in the world.